This is Gunjan Bagla, CEO of Amritt, and I have with me my friend Dr. Saraf from Mumbai. I visited him at his office 2 years ago and got to know the nature of his company. Dr. Saraf, would you take a moment to introduce yourself and your company?
Yeah, thank you, Gunjan. My name is Sharad Kumar Saraf. I am a 69 batch IIT Bombay engineer, and in 1972, together with my brother, I founded this company, TechnoCraft Industries India Limited. We are now a listed company in Bombay Stock Exchange and employing over 3,500 workers and staff. We are world's largest producer of closures devices for steel drums, and we are quite well known worldwide, including here in US. We have a distribution center out of Houston where we stock and sell our products. We are also the largest manufacturer exporter of scaffolding and formwork system out of India, and we have a well established textile mill starting with cotton to the finished garments. So we from cotton we spin yarn, yarn to fabric, fabric to garments. Then we also have a company doing engineering design services, which provides designing, development, process automation, product development, and a whole range of things. And we employ about 800 engineers there. Some of them are also working here in US, also in Europe, and so on. So it's a well-established company now, about 53, 54 years old, quite matured, and working quite well.
Wonderful. So I wanted to drill down a little bit on the two businesses that you mentioned that have to do with the manufacturing related to steel. And when an average person thinks about a closure for a steel drum, they might think it's a cap and it should be a very simple operation to produce it. And most people in the US would say, oh, this is something a Chinese company would do. Now, I'm sure you may have some Chinese competitors, but tell us how you developed this scale to be the largest manufacturer of a product like that globally.
You see, when we started, when somebody mentioned to me that we could produce this product, to me also it looked very simple, and that one could do it in no time. That was going back to 1972, and I almost went bankrupt by 74, early 74, because we could not produce it right. At that time, there was only one American manufacturer who had a world monopoly, and I honestly didn't know about it. So we just took on because I just wanted to be on my own and doing some manufacturing activity.
Mhm.
And then my brother and I, we worked full time to go deeper into the subject, technical aspect, and see what makes it different. And then we found the formula, or the geometrical formula, and then we started designing, building machines to get there. So we are not only fully vertically horizontally integrated, but we are also integrated in designing of machines
So you
and
design the
building
machine tools.
our own machines and our own
Wow,
tools.
that's
So
amazing.
yeah, so year on year we keep designing faster, more advanced machines, more advanced technology. So you asked me, the other part of your question was what made us into this world class production. So it is the technology. It is our, let us say, upbringing of our institute where I studied, which helped us to, you know, have that mindset of development and R&D, which both my brother, who is also from IIT Bombay, have that trait in our built our psychology. So we kept doing that. We kept plowing all our profits back in the business, and that's how it worked out. The next question you asked is that people would think it's made in China. China could do it, and about competition from China. Then let me tell you, yes, there are almost 25 manufacturers in China, but they can't get anywhere near us. And we have then put up a factory in China. We are the largest manufacturer of drum closures in China. Drum closure is a very high-tech industry. Unlike what it looks like, every single engineering operation is there, and it has to be done absolutely in a correct precision manner. Otherwise, it won't work out.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So now let me ask a broader question, since I know you're involved not only in your companies, but you're also involved in leadership at a number of the IITs. But the question I want to ask you is, can India be perceived by the world, and particularly by the United States, as a global manufacturing power? And if not, what will it take for India to get there?
No, you see, already it is the perception is changing in last 5 years. There has been a great change in the perception, particularly the Japanese perception. So they are not only moving a lot of their manufacturing from China to India, but the fresh investments that the Japanese companies are doing are all coming to India, and hardly anything is going to China. So that shows that resilience of Indian manufacturing system. The even in US, we are attracting more and more investment year on year. More companies are coming, but the other country which is looking at India with great interest is Germany. So we have now hundreds and hundreds of middle level, what we call as MSME, mid and small companies from Germany, family owned businesses from Germany setting shop in India,
Yeah.
and very successfully. And it is a well known fact, and my experience also, that companies that have plants both in India and in China, they make more money or in India than in China in
Can you
most
give a
cases.
couple of examples, sir? If you
Yeah,
can.
even Tesla, for example, they
Uh-huh.
started in China, but slowly they are now coming to India, and they are setting up a large
Mhm.
India, a large operation in India. Similarly, there are computer hardware companies, this Micron chip
Sure.
manufacturing company. So all these companies are now coming to India. Large companies are coming to in India.
Sure.
Then you ask what it will take to attract invest. See, the government is doing a great job. Our government now is very pragmatic. It wants to get investments and manufacturing companies into India. So a very generous scheme
Yeah.
of support is doled out. So we could get as much as about 35-40% of capital investment
Yeah.
as a grant from Indian
Yes.
government,
Yes. That's amazing.
as attraction.
Yes.
The government of India as well as the state governments are ready to negotiate with projects that are, let us say, more than or about $100 million, not billion, sorry, $100 million.
Yeah.
So the chief minister himself are ready to sit across the table and sort it out. So now that old perception that there are too much of bureaucracy, there is too much of red tape, and it's very difficult to do with
Yeah.
that all is gone. One has to be pragmatic. You know, if I was to come to United States and try to do a manufacturing act, I'll also face similar problems. There are laws and rules which have to be observed and respected, which we all do.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I have one final question for you. And you alluded to that a little bit earlier, that your IIT education
Yes.
helped you along the way, and
Yes.
you looked at your company as a technology company more than simply a
Correct.
manufacturer. So tell me a little bit more about what today, many decades after you completed your education at IIT, what drives you when you think about your IIT education and what you learned there? Does that still drive your decision making and your thinking today? And if so, how?
Absolutely. Because we spent 5 years in IIT trying to get that undergrad degree. At that time, we stayed there in the campus, in the hostel, and so we had a very holistic learning experience. Not only the tutorials and the classrooms that or the laboratories where we were learning, we were also learning in the hostel. How do you work with different kinds of students who were there, coming from different parts of the country, from the different background, entirely different culture, and so on. And then you learn to live with all of them. So that's another kind of teaching which is required. So IIT ultimately produces leaders, and you know, it produces uh, not only finest engineers, but also people who can uh, control and who can take the businesses forward.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Saraf, for your time. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.